And we're back in action. Vendetta pulling off a bit of an upset on Mirage. It was looking so good for EG up until it won 7 rounds in a row. See that one break the way of Vendetta, and now the underdog get a chance to close it out here on Overpass. John, how you feeling about the chances to do so?
Well, I mean, look, it's EG's map pick. It has been for a while, and it's a map that they're very solid on. 13 times they played over the last 3 months, 9 wins, 4 losses, and a plus 33 round differential. But last night against ATK, they lost 12-16. So I don't think there's really a safe map right now for EG because of the way they're playing.
High variance CS, as we have pointed out a time or two. But does also mean that their peaks are pretty dang high. And against the Vendetta, they might be feeling a little comfortable. So they got to be frustrated after the way that Mirage broke down. A couple quick kills here will send those frustrations hurtling away. And Chop, 2 HP, still gets a kill. All right, nice headshot for Chop. But it's going to make this round potentially viable. Silas getting down low. They've already taken the space. He's not going to be able to beat them to this. Ball and plan. Actually, they hesitate. They stall out. They wanted the util out. Now Silas gets a chance to have his say. Tender, 1v2 clutch. A very winnable situation, but he's not expecting the off angle by the sandbags. And he's being whittled down bit by bit. Nice position there. Really nice play from Hexed.
Yeah, that's just Tender looking the wrong way, unfortunately. And then he gets isolated by both players, can't escape, and domed down to the ground. 1-0 for EG as we head into round number 2. And yeah, you're right. I think EG are going to be playing with heads full of steam here, realizing to let one potentially slip away there over on Mirage. I do have to give credit to Vendetta, though. They played very, very well. Really a never said die, resilient squad there, using the firepower pieces that they had at their disposal to really make life difficult for EG. George going to nade Consti down to 65, and Consti is gone. George taking care of business. Silas could get one here, but no. Walco, after taking one shot to the leg, decides that that is enough for Silas and makes it a 5v3 extremely quickly here.
Yeah, last map was one of those great demonstrations of the power of momentum, right? It was that Palace play where they're jumping onto the 5-7 and 2 kills come through and the round is lost, where just everything swung. That force by one for Vendetta. EG could never get the feedback onto them, could never get things sorted out. I'll look to avoid that type of situation. Don't lose to the egos here, and you don't have to worry about it. Or lose to the egos, but show some resilience. Bounce back. That's what you're looking for. Edge of the smoke. There is a player. Tender, I think, is sticking out of this. Oh, no, he's not. X-ray a little deceptive. But trying to play the edge of it, he can't quite find the damage he was looking for. And now with 3 smokes onto the choke points, this could just be a save.
Yeah. Vendetta. Indeed, just going to back off here and save. EG. Pretty bog standard take of that A site. Thing is, Vendetta just didn't have enough utility to throw back in their direction, nor did they have the firepower available to them.
All right, John, if you could add any gun from any other video game franchise in history to Counter-Strike 2, what gun would you add?
None. Counter-Strike's perfect. How dare you? Yeah. We don't need any new guns. God, sorry, I'm laughing because Chaz decided to say akimbo. What was it? Akimbo what?
1776's Modern Warfare 2.
Wow. Okay,
yeah,
no.
Classic. Classic. That's a throwback right there. Yeah, that game was broken in so many ways.
Yep.
Good old just noob tube off rip and spawn and then run around commandoing. Ah, what a game. I say, had the Halo energy sword. Let's get weird. Not the Grav Hammer, Ches. Grav Hammer, I don't think has a place in Counter-Strike. I think that might just be a little too OP, but the feeling of someone charging at you with an energy sword, running you down while you fluff your spray, that would be something.
Next, not gonna fluff his spray. He takes down 60. Rush, drop, and chop.
What about plasma grenades? What if you could have a sticky nade, John?
Please, Mike. Let's be serious here.
Play more?
No, actually, okay, I'll take that seriously. Do you want me to take that suggestion seriously?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, cool.
We got some time. This round's not anything.
Yeah. I think that could potentially be interesting as long as it's balanced. In terms of damage, it probably would be more like a chip damage nade that won't necessarily be lethal. Maybe like 30, 40 damage maximum.
It's on your face, and then you get vaporized.
That's the thing. Like, if it can stick to bodies, I guess it could be skill-based in some way. Like, it would be really difficult to actually pull that off, but if you do, it's an instant kill.
Our producer wants us to add the Scorpion tank. Funk vehicle.
Yes, perfect. That's one that I can totally approve of.
Yep. Bring in the mongoose.
Scorpion.
There was no better feeling than being in a Halo lobby, just driving around a mongoose during just Team Slayer, and just being so good at driving that no one could kill you while you honk the horn like a lunatic. Those are good times.
Those were good times. I love them. I remember going to the midnight launch for Halo 2 and skipping school the next day to play all night long, basically. Multiplayer Halo 2, Mike. That was some good stuff.
We used to have like birthday parties where we would bring a bunch of different Xbox 360s and have giant Halo 3 LAN parties.
Oh, man.
The best was we did one where you remember the map where you had the elephant, the just giant mobile platform thing?
I think so.
We would do one team was all on the elephant, and the other team was all strafing by with vehicles trying to kill the people on the elephant.
That sounds awesome.
It was pretty good. It's pretty good times. It's a lot of nostalgia right there. 50 seconds on the clock. Eventually, EG is going to have to do something in this round. They haven't to this point. But now things might get interesting. There's 3 players up top here. This is what it's going to be red. They haven't seen anything towards B, so there's nothing to really pull the rotation off. And now EG funneling into the reinforced site. Engagement out towards long. If this is lost, if Walco gives this up, it's going to be very tough. They won't have a second dimension to this, and Silas holds on, but the site players are gone. So, leaving it very late, but making good at the right time. Means that this bomb's been planted, and now Junior is trying to clean out this player out towards long. Still, he's losing teammates in the meantime. So while he will get this kill, a lot more work's going to need to be done. A 2-on-2, and there's the choke point. 60's out. Didn't expect Hex in the corner, and Tender, what are you waiting for? Way too late into this. Not going to be able to have any impact in it. I don't even think he can win this on time.
I think that was a bit of a miscommunication as well. The spacing was not good at all. 60 goes for that fight, and as you saw and mentioned, Tender way back. Probably just wants to save the M4 at this point, and well, he may not do that because Junior's right around this corner. If he zeroes in this spot and hard clears this angle, probably take down Tender, but Tender's going to peek first, then Junior drops him. Op and AK carried over as well, and EG take a 4-0 lead. Now, Mike, I actually had a question for you. I don't know if you saw this, but there were colored smokes that are actually implemented into Counter-Strike 2 source code, and it's available.
Did see that?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you already know where I'm going with this, but what do you think about having colored smokes at majors, for example, based on the color of the team?
Oh, that'd be hype.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of interesting.
So you know immediately which smoke is thrown by which team, and it's much more interesting for the viewers as well.
I think it is unlikely, but it does sound interesting. But I'll explain why I think it's unlikely in a second as well. Okay, sure. Tender backing off. We have some time because EG will now take the next minute, slowly clearing bathrooms control. The thing is, Valve have been resistant to presenting a form of the game during major games that is not identical to the form you would play in matchmaking before, right?
True.
They're very much sticklers to having the same set so that you could play the same game all the way through, which makes some degree of sense. And I think for that reason, they might be resistant to an actual mod within the game. I know that, I mean, at this point, smokes are colored either blue or yellow for CTs or Ts, but I think team-specific ones might be a step too far for Valve.
Yeah, I mean, technically the colored ones are already there, so it wouldn't necessarily be a mod to the game itself. It'd just be for the majors. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Valve will be a bit adventurous there.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting to push the envelope a little bit, try it out at least. We're going to get a play in towards B. Straightforward play up against the Pistols. And they execute. They can. Indeed. Okay, that kill softens things up. Should be all good now. A little bit of intrigue around the pillar, but at the end of the day, 4 players emerge, and EG, another comfortable round against the limited buy. Now we get a gun round, John.
We do.
Pop out for Consti. Hasn't gotten on the board just yet, but with the big green, that could be different.
Let's see here. Vendetta. Need to start getting some rounds on the board here. The CT side is looking extremely lackluster. Consti, who has been a very key piece with that AWP on Vendetta. Hoping to find something, but as of right now, EG are heavily leaning towards the B site. There is a setup here for Vendetta, and Chop could punish Walco if he doesn't clear this. Maybe Chop's going to take the initiative. Good time to do it. Tender throws the flash for him, and Walco is done. 5v4, that could trigger EG to try to do something quickly here, and they do, but 60 denies one before Junior finds the immediate trade. Man advantage retained for Vendetta on the defensive end.
Look at all this control for Silas. All this information for Silas is going around the world, and he might just find the bomb before they even go back for it. George is through the monster tunnel. Somebody needs to get this. Ooh, Silas doesn't want to overextend, doesn't want to go too far, but go, Silas, go. See what you can find. Now Molotov, this util being hurt on B. This might draw him forward. That kill certainly should. He needs to get activated, and still no one's gone back for the bomb. So even with that kill now, Silas, when's he going to realize? George is looking. George realized, but too late. I don't think Silas ever spotted the C4. I think it was always under the lip of the scenery. He doesn't know what he has, John.
Maybe he's on radar when he looks in that direcation.
Now he'll know. Now he knows.
Yeah,
now he knows
go.
for sure. Now it's been spotted. Knows he has the bomb to play off of. This smoke gives him a pretty interesting angle, and they're still trying to fight towards sight. Rather than rerouting 20 seconds, time's going to be a huge issue for EG here. And as they walk out, as the bodies get dropped with no util behind it, Rush, one man, a bomb to retrieve to even get a hope to plant. There's no way to save here, so he's got to try and fight one way or another. He's not going to give it a look. Is that before or after time? Before time. Okay, he gets before, lost bonus at least, but that was very close.
Half a second, I think, before time ended. That was exceptionally close. And Rush will at least get his loss bonus, even though he didn't necessarily need it, right? He had 5K. It's all right, but it still helps if you're not going to save the gun. 4 AKs and the AWP for the Evil Geniuses. Vendetta do get a full buy up again, but that round was a little expensive for them. So not exactly comfortable yet with their economy. Consti's quite aggressive here up to the fountain, says, no thanks, I'm going to fall back now, haven't seen anything. And Silas got a lot of utility in his direction, but he still gets the opening frag onto Rush. Tender looking for a fight too. These flashbangs are so good from Vendetta. Chop setting up Tender this time. And that's a 5v3.
Silas, I think, just missed the pixel on Walco. Apparently, I'd forgotten how to speak here. Elocution eluding me, John. But as tongue-tied as I may be, EG pretty tied up into what they want to do here. They're slowing way down as well now, right? Trying to find an advantage back, but it means that the player's a little disjointed. Seems like they're going to funnel in towards A. They are going to commit to this, but counter utility back the other way. Does this persuade them to cancel, to slow up? They've really only got this one set of nades. A little bit more available, so I'm going to press it. I'm holding conservatively back. The first one drops. Second one potentially soon to follow. George on an island. 1 for 1's not good enough, and Junior will hit this shot. There's still a player bank. Does he realize? Rotation nearly here. Junior got the right idea. Gonna hit a ripper and finish off Consti. 1v2. This bomb going down. The flank developing. Tender, can he get on the scene in time to catch Junior before he escapes? Yes, he can.
Junior just barely seeing that body there in bank, but still, it's not enough. Bomb plant, at least. Vendetta are able to shut things down and get a second. Still, their economy isn't going to be comfortable, so EG have a chance to punish here, and with that bomb plant, we'll be able to get pretty much a full-on buy-up. Evil Genius has just fallen apart, waiting way too long again, and Vendetta just had the jump on them as soon as they went onto that A site. The only one able to make noise was the last one standing in Junior. Eighth round of play. Vendetta's got 2 in a row, looking to make it 3, but they've had to get both these rounds against full-on buy-ups. It's, of course, not going to get any easier into this one. Consti going aggressive down long. Probably heard here, but the first frag is found. That's Hex. Yeah.
Consti seen this player by the slide. Still just going to drop the shot and fade. You're a little closer than anticipated, but you're right. Hex getting this opening kill elsewhere. That's a nice one. They're looking to bring it back, but this is such a risk. And 6-8 down at 1 HP falls a little too far. Oh, no. Talk about an ankle breaker. That's going to sting.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's into water, and he still took 1 damage.
Yeah,
oh, that's
a little too much height.
That's so unfortunate. I feel kind of bad for him.
New ways to die. Counter-Strike, even as this version of the game almost wraps up, we're still finding and seeing new things. And that's the beauty of it, John. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Nice shot through the divider, right? Junior knows it on the minimap, so he just hits it, rips it, knows the player was low. And they know where the last player is, so they can just avoid him. Bomb will be planted towards B. Consti is stuck, especially considering the health remaining. Don't know how much EG are going to fancy the chase. Their own money is brittle.
George wants it.
Spots him. He spots him. He sees him. He's got the kill.
Yeah, George wanted that. There's no question. Like, he was just hanging back saying, I want to make sure they do not save this op into the following round, and he deals the final blow. Vendetta? Can they buy? Not really. That's a half buy for sure. That will come through at most. They got 3 deagles, a 5.7, 2 smokes, and 3 pieces of armor. What does Vendetta do on this limited buy? It looks like they want to send 3 into connector. Junior's already found the first onto tender, though, and that was at the B site. So you have to imagine EG might start to work that. George has to be careful, comes around the corner. 60 tags him down to 56, but George takes care of business. So far, so good for EG, but they still need to be cautious because Vendetta have 3 players, as mentioned, waiting in connector, hoping to strike an unsuspecting rush.
Kind of a hornet's nest. If you kick it, you're not going to be feeling so great. But if you just leave them well enough alone, let them go about their business, and go towards the site and plant, you never have to worry about it. Also, like a hornet's nest, if you smoke it ahead of time, you might have an easier time dismantling it. Also like a hornet's nest, John, if you throw a Molotov cocktail at it, they're gonna come scuttling out.
They're not gonna be happy.
Similar to a hornet's nest, if you throw a high explosive grenade into it, they also will not be happy.
They may also be dead.
Shredded, yes. Indeed. Similar to a hornet's nest, if you throw a flashbang grenade into it. Look, the metaphor just has legs here, or wings, I should say.
Oh, God. It just keeps going.
Can I say, John, I do love a stinger on a joke.
Oh, boy.
Well, whatever it is, it's not going to change the outcome of this round, Hornets or no. These will be left to buzz off into the next.
Too many puns available to you here, Mike. 5.
I just like to make sure a joke can be all it can be.
All 5 players left standing here for EG. I can't believe you slipped another one in there, Mike. But an M4
what is that noise?
and 2 A1Ss. What's that?
I'm being talked to you by the aliens.
Uh-oh.
We got the demons going through here. I think if we get off of this cam, I'm betting it's going to go away.
think we slipped into the Doom universe.
Yep, fixed.
We're good.
Resolved. Demons, they're not talking to me anymore. We got a little bit of a tech pause coming in here, folks, unfortunately. Let's see. Someone's headset has disabled. Ooh, these sounds, they're going to be fixed in Source 2. Or will they? Actually, Valve is just going to add a new sound every time you change a camera. Go to 1, you're going to hear the sound of goats. Now that you're just going to have water.
I don't want that. That's
can we turn back on game audio so that chat can experience this with us? It's back on. There we go, chat. This is just a nice, it's like a babbling brook. It's like a white noise machine, John.
That's nice.
This is actually what happens. I don't know if this is what happened for chess, but this is what happens if you start a free cam or a cam path while you're in water. You get the water noise throughout it.
That's actually... That's the Half-Life 1
It is fixed.
Underwater effect, I believe.
And back. We're back to water.
Yeah,
interesting.
or Half-Life 2,
it out.
but
I'm seeing Bi coming in, so I think the time's running out.
It's
We just have a babbling brook.
Very soothing. It's nice.
It's like when you're just staring at an aquarium and you're hearing the bubbler go, you know?
Yeah.
It's the vibes. I used to have an aquarium when I was a young lad.
So did I. At Turtles, though.
We had some newts for a while.
Huh.
2 newts. They were named Fig Newton and Newty the Goot.
God. Did you name them, Mike?
Either me or my brother or some combination therein. We were both very young at the time.
Well, it still fits, given...
They were escape artists, those newts. I tell you what. They would get out of their tank all the time. And the problem is, well, the talk tax coming in. So I'll tell you about the problem with newts later. Because we got the hit coming in. Rush. Points 1. This is looking good for EG on first brush. But there's still a player here in the water. Chop. Trying to make some noise. Flash makes it lethal and he's stuck. And with that kill, this one's going to be over. The save has to be called for Vendetta. That will be 8 on the board for EG. And now we can talk about newts again. The important thing here, John.
Yes.
So the thing with newts is the little guys can squeeze through a lot. So they would like make their way out through their water filter, I think, or through like little tiny gaps in the container. And then the big concern is they need their amphibians. They need to stay wet. So they need access to water. So if they got lost in the apartment, we were so worried they were going to dry out and die. So we would have panicked rush to find them. And of course, us being little kids, we would be so worried that they were going to die. And that it would be our fault for leaving something open or letting them out, or they were invariably trying to camouflage on a rug somewhere, and we would eventually find them.
Terrorists win.
Sounds like an interesting pet to have.
Yeah, they're cool. They are cool newts.
Gotta say, now that the water sound is gone, Mike, I kind of miss it.
You miss it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we can get you a white noise machine, John.
It was like a nice warm hug.
Babbling brook.
And
a nice warm hug, he says. Interesting. I don't know what your hugs sound like, but I'm kind of intrigued now.
No, I mean, it makes it feel like a nice warm, like you're getting a nice warm. Mike, come on. We went through this yesterday.
What, nice warm hugs and what they sound like?
No.
I think we talked about this.
Feeling sounds. You know?
Oh,
like
right, synesthesia. Yeah, what color do you smell for a hug?
There you go. Oh, I don't know.
Find out. Contact into bathrooms. 1 down for the count. Silas overwhelmed. Ooh, spot on the next. Consti, you're in for a world of trouble, and you are very alone here. So normally they just leave him at bay, but they're like, yeah, you know, we could hunt an op. Consti on the menu today. And actually, EG stalling this out. Maybe missing their window for a free and clear bomb site. Do want to still catch Consti. George has the angle. And not the shot. Rare miss for George. Couple kills go back the other way. And suddenly what was looking like a very comfortable situation for EG is anything but. Flashbang. Beautiful for Tender. He gets the reload off. Under pressure from Junior. Junior is now all on his lonesome 1v3. How did this fall apart? EG get the opening pick. There's only 1 player towards the A side of map. But they stall out trying to chase that kill. And they lose all of the initiative.
Yeah, things just went from bad to worse for EG there. I thought maybe they could recover and connect here, but no. Denied that. And now it's all up to Junior. Effectively surrounded, although he doesn't know yet, and neither do Vendetta, because he slipped through here. Oh, timing in Junior's favor. He'll get chopped 1v2, but time is ticking away. He has to sprint just to plant the bomb. And he wants none of it, Mike. He's not even going to try. Just going to save the op, maybe, because he's got a flank on in 6y.
He's got
And-
9.5K. $9,500, but time was so short.
I think also you don't want to give the
risk.
op away, right?
I suppose they already had one.
But he could have gone for a double op.
They could have. It's a little unusual to play one on Overpass, and I don't
Yes.
think they have a natural secondary opper. I mean, 6y has
6y.
opt at times in the past, but I don't think he's doing it that much in this roster.
No, not particularly. But I'm just saying, like, could be
I
viable.
guess there's a philosophy for it, but yeah, definitely the initiative lost in that round, and now George is down for the count, so this one's starting a whole lot better for Vendetta. That is a blessing, I think, for them. A bit of an opportunity missed for EG, and now Vendetta get their feet under him. And this double monster push is going to be interesting. Hex could get caught. I haven't done this yet, I don't believe. So Hex not watching for it on the smoke faded. Now he's got to be very careful not to get wrapped. He's about to be, and down he goes. So no control towards B. Rotation options now massively limited. Rush will try and bring it back, but at the cost of so much of his health. Even then, he only finds the one. Spam
Walco.
damage good for the next. Walco might open them a path towards A, but they've got to go for it. Junior's got to group with him. They've got to play together to try and get this bomb down. And Consti, he's out beyond the utility. He's got the sight line. There's nothing further to pull him off, and so he's going to get the kill and leave everything on the back of Junior. Slowly, methodically, try and clear and die.
Well, that saved money's going to come in handy now, Mike, for Junior. Sort of. I guess he would have had the money anyway because he saved the op, whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to justify the saved op, but I guess there's no justifying it. 4th round picked up for Vendetta. Only 3 rounds remaining in this half, and Evil Geniuses are looking at an 8-2 lead that's been narrowed down to 8-4, and you're seeing their buy up. Yes, it's good here, but if Vendetta get one more, I mean, they're going to have to start asking themselves questions, and maybe not just about this BO3, because the amount of times in recent memory that we've seen EG come out with a really strong lead and then not be able to really convert off of it into a strong half is concerning. Tender almost takes down his teammate in the process, but George is gone. The thing is, his teammate goes down, then he gets off. That was a very clunky situation.
Oh, a little awkward. They may not expect Silas to already be further up in this angle, has a chance to catch. But they're watching, they're aware. EG will always be as prepared for those pushes in. So now a 4v2. So much control, so much space, so much real estate. Excuse me there. They go, chop. We'll bring one back as Rush makes an individual move, trying to get some information in towards construction. It's being held for by Hex, but Hex is withdrawing. They're going to want to mass and move towards A. Consti alone.
Mm-hmm. The longer they take, the better chance Vendetta has to rotate around and realize what's happening here. Consti's moving up, and
He heard that,
they're already
I think,
past
on
him.
the
He
drop.
might have. He might have. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, this is going to be huge. Consti has the flank. They're exposed to it. They're a little bit past, but Consti's going to be able to drop down. It's going to be so tough to actually plant the bomb, especially as Junior is just slow in.
Chop
CHE
is
drops.
Consti's so wary.
He's not going for it. He's not going for it. Nervous about being held, so the opportunity's missed. With time low, if he'd gotten in there at the right time, dropped that bomb. We have a serious round on our hand, but Consti misses the window, misses the chance, and now EG. I mean, it's a pretty dang good hold, especially with the deep bathrooms control.
Chop's
That
gotta
kill,
go now.
I think it's too late. I
No,
think
they
it's
got
too
time.
late. The problem is Consti's not close, right? He needs to get on this angle to support his teammate to pull focus, and he's going to do exactly that and chop! Oh my goodness! Even just the utility that Consti was dumping out was enough, and in the nick of time, they'll bring it through.
Told you, Mike. Told you they had time. That was a really nice spot for Chop to be holding that late into the post plant. And then, of course, Consti just tossing that util over flash after flash. And then, of course, it's just a great peek. And Junior wasn't watching at all. They had no idea someone would come from behind them. They were both more focused on long A and bathrooms than worrying about bank and dumpster. And they paid the price. That's just... Yeah, I hate ragging on EG so much, Mike, but when I see these issues happening again and again, it's a little tough, you know? EG, again, taking a little too long to get onto the site. They had the advantage, but they don't take that initiative quickly enough, and because they don't, Consti gets in on a flank, Chop is able to slip up back to the site from B, and they have a perfect setup in the post plant to deny a 2v3, where a man advantage was there for EG. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to the action here. Hext managed to get all the way into sandbags.
Right around the corner. This could be cheeky. Not making the move, though. His teammates making noise up top, and now the boost has been abandoned, so maybe the window missed. Opportunity perhaps lost on the smoke fade. This is going to get interesting. Minute on the clock. Very little for EG remaining in terms of util. Smoke deployed. They've got 2 more to use. That's where it runs out. We've not seen much on towards B. We're starting to bring the bodies on over. Silas gets 1. He will be traded. We're not going to let that get out of whack, but here comes the hit. 3 players are here for the CT side. They are very prepared. Bomb drop confirmation on, casualties galore. And Hex now with a scout to try and bring this round back. Well, that's not happening. So Vendetta have closed the gap to just 2, and they want to shrink it even further in this last round of the half.
Unbelievable. I mean, again, the recovery from Vendetta down 8-2. They pull it on back, and they're hoping anyway to make this as close as it can possibly be heading into the second half and find a 7th. But Evil Geniuses will still have a buy-up because they had that eco in the previous round. And op, 2 AKs, 2 Galils though, and utility isn't full for Junior or Rush. We'll see how much that limits them here. EG need to find that balance between patient play and aggression. Silas. Awesome util there. And Walco's going to do the same. That's for short A. And that could trigger Vendetta to pull back up. Oh, Consti dipping his toes in the fire a little too long. Throws the smoke into it, but he's down to 36 just from that Molotov. As 6 is going to spam down through the smoke. He's suspecting something, and for good reason. There are 4 AG players here. Nade connects for only a little bit of damage. Here comes the hit.
Rush, Ripper on the entry, but there's still more here in the defense if they don't know there's a player construction. Oh, they don't know.
Uh-oh. They're not even
Tender's going to do just a little bit of cheeky baiting because they have no idea. And he waits the maximum amount of time. Junior down for the count. Wanted some information. He might be dead. This player clearing back in from Con, but no! A gap in the smoke that he dropped. That's beautiful play from Tender, using the utility to its maximum advantage. There's 2 players on site. Spot on the first. Hex dueling.
What a shot.
Losing his life. George alone. Confirmation of his position here on the bomb. He's going to retrieve it. Just hope he doesn't get peeked from heaven. He's correct. A bit late on that Molotov gives George the chance to get off the spot, but this heaven peak will be too much. 2 directions to look, only 1 set of eyes, and a defuse on to send us to the half.
with you. Cause I'm never sober when I'm with you. When I'm down and can't push through, I know you're the one I can turn to. You make me feel like someone new. Cause I'm never sober when I'm with you. I couldn't imagine where we would be now. I wish we could somehow live in a moment in time where I was yours and you were mine. Cause when I'm alone I get lost in my head, and I try to think back to the things that you said. But living without you is taking a toll. Feel like I might lose control. When I'm down and can't push through, I know you're the one I can turn to. You make me feel like someone new.
Yep. Yeah. Well, they sort of did right at the beginning of Mirage in that second half too, 12-8, and then Vendetta, or 12-9, and Vendetta just came right on back. Let's see if they can do it again here. Hex only going to get one. It's all Vendetta so far charging onto this site, and Silas manages to connect onto Rush. Consti gets George. Vendetta win
Bomb has been
the round? Probably. Look, Junior gets one. Oh, Mike.
terrorists win.
So is your implication that Junior was saving a lot in that first half? Yeah. Very hesitant. It's, which is weird. I agree. It's weird for a team this talented with this much firepower on it. It's strange that they're so timid in a lot of these fights. I can't disagree with you. And I would argue more so than when Stan was on the team. Yes, but he wasn't timid. Yeah, there is. Little bit of util committed by Vendetta here for short A and short bathrooms. Just trying to clear some space. Yeah, exactly. If Chop gets a kill here, though, that could pull them all towards A. Still Junior. Oh!
Terrorists win.
Oh! Man, so close for Junior, but Consti, his aim was solid. on the drop shots. So 9-8 in favor of Vendetta. It got really scary. Rush, 3 cracks with the Deagle at getting that frag, and he missed every single shot. Not even a bit of damage. And if he hits one of them, just one, consti was dead to the scout. Because it was a 90 damage tag by Junior. What could have been. Perhaps that'll be the story of this BO3 for EG. 9-8 in favor of Vendetta, and look at this. They've already got the B site. 60's all the way up here. Walco's got his knife out, I believe. I'm not sure what he had out, but it wasn't his gun. And Vendetta will eventually realize that no one is home. EG are trying to rotate back to get something here. The bomb needs to rotate to the B site because now they have it. Okay.
Bomb has been planted.
Oh, tender. That was a 5-7, yeah. Yeah. Junior. Gonna get some util thrown here. But Vendetta have the round. It's already over. AG are just holding for exits, and it could be a good idea. X? No. Goes down to tender. Might have delayed them long enough for Rush to get into position, and they do. Rush gets 2, but it won't really mean much. They do the economic damage. Vendetta will still have enough to buy up here. That's more for the long game than anything else, as Vendetta have taken a 2-round lead.
We should be all good now, though. Should be all good, folks. So
everyone's happy to hear you again, Mike.
That's good, John. Happy to be here. Happy to be speaking. 2-round lead for Vendetta, but the guns are out for EG, and they're going to be looking to have a little bit more impact. Junior will pop a shot, but it's Rush who swings in and out long. A little bit disjointed from his AWP.
Oh,
now,
what?
2 players are down. George caught entirely unawares, focused on the con fight. And this is looking tough. 1-for-1 would be good enough, but Walco steps up. They needed something. They needed a hero to give them a chance into this round, and Walco delivers. Transferring. Never should have been able to get all those bullets down range, but he does exactly that. Wastes no time about it, and now Vendetta, what was looking at very good, the acceleration in towards B proves costly.
Yep. Who says 20 bullets isn't enough, Mike? That's a 3K spray transfer with the A1S. Aye. Round's not over yet, though. EG only have 1 player on the A site, so it's a good adjustment here by Vendetta. 60 and Silas coming out. Junior, now's a good time to hit it, and he does. 60 dropped all up to Silas, but Junior's going to give him the space, at least for now. This could lead to a bomb plant. With that smoke thrown, feels inevitable. Silas is trying to bait out a peek. And, I mean, he has, but there's only 21 seconds left. Flashbang toss as well. Now he's probably lost his opportunity. Yep. Needs to fall off. No bomb plant. No additional $800. And Vendetta will lose the round. Yep.
It's a tricky save. Do you really want to go for the fight? Actually, Walco thinks better of it. Realizes that their economy needs to build on the CT side.
Counter-terrorists win.
Not gonna feel good about it. And send Hex to go try and grab some util, which he will. Smoke it, or flash on a molly found late. It's a little bit of extra money when you're trying to make a CT side work. That's a big potential game changer. To get a 4-spy in here, one would expect it, and indeed one does get what one expects, which is Tech 9. It's Tech 9 galore. Tech 36. And a fast play in towards B. Making no bones about this. Very straightforward play. They're just rushing on in towards the site. Molotov's down, but they're going through him. Madman. Tender. Down for the count. Those were their own mollies. Clearly trying to offset the play, offset the expectations. Didn't quite go to plan. They still got a lot of utility to work with, but they don't have the bodies left to throw them, and the bomb is committed. So this is going to be a very tough ask. And with so many towards the site, surely somebody's watching this boost. Apparently not. George dropped down for the count, opening the possibilities back up into this round. If they can keep economic pressure as well, that would be something to build on.
Chop. Loosen up, and Walco knocking him down. Consti, last one standing here. And unless EG completely drop the ball here, this one should be done. Knife out.
Gone.
Yeah.
What? Okay,
Yeah,
gone. There we go. All knotted up. EG sliding back into the lead here, John.
Indeed. EG trying to get that lead back that they lost a while ago when they were up 8-2. Need to win here just to extend this series and keep hope alive in the ESL Challenger Melbourne. Close qualifier. Walco's going to get the frag onto Tender. That's a good start. And it's just pistols here, of course, for Vendetta. So it should be an easy clean for EG. And, oh, Junior misses a shot. It shouldn't matter. But it does. Walco goes down to Silas. So that's one casualty at least. I'll look at the HP. They shouldn't have much of a chance here. And yeah, Silas is gone.
One would imagine. Shop going to try and lose himself. See if he can't just get around and upset somebody. Not really a hope of winning this round, but if he can get one extra Glock kill, it's worth it. Here's George thunderfooting on around. Now, we'll wait. See if he's going to hook anything. Hook death. Straight old death. Unfiltered. Investment back in for Vendetta. But EG... we've seen, for them, it comes in fits and bunches both ways, right? When they get rattled, they get real rattled and can slide. But once they've regained, they've stabilized, they've found these rounds, they've built up some bank. Now this CT side could really look good.
Maybe.
4 players towards B early on. They're anticipating the faster plays, which makes sense. Vendetta do like that a little bit. Panel spam going to be very damaging onto the other side. Surprised they didn't pull the trigger on the Vendetta side. Thought they saw the boost, but they were hoping it would come back. That wasn't quite afforded to them. Tender could make something of this, though. Tender. Got to be looking the right way at the right time. They're coming to face him, and they're just giving him an opportunity on the rifles. Tender. Dink up, the op now on the angle. Consti back into the scene. Now it's starting to get very messy for EG. They've lost the bodies. All that damage doesn't matter if you can't make good, but Hex will do exactly
Hex
that.
Gets one, yeah.
Now even numbers. Hexed isolated. They're pressuring on. He's got to be good, but he has been so very solid. Not today, not here, not now. This bomb making its way over to be planted. There's money to spare. EG don't need to consider the save just yet. This is too tantalizing a prospect. It's a bit early. Bomb's not down yet. So util sails out to try and take this space. The flashbang, though, is lethal. Rush gets one, but now he's alone. 2 more needed, and he'll get neither.
Yeah, that flash was unfortunately a little too lethal for Rush's teammate Walco as he got blinded by it, and as he was going out, well, I mean, yes, they get that opening frag, but it was a 3v2, so the other 2 players left from Vendetta cleaned them out. 11-11, tied up. As I was trying to allude to earlier, Mike, Evil Geniuses were up on Mirage. They had double digits found and that lead over Vendetta, but it ended up slipping away, and maybe this one will too. I mean, it already has. We're tied up again, 11-11. Timeout going to be called here for EG. To talk things over, yes, they had money in the bank. That's why they got a little bit frisky there, but maybe it would have been better to play for the long game. A little more cash available to them here into this round, and more utility. Instead, Hex is extremely limited. Probably going to get, imagine, either Hamas One MP9 just to get more detail into this round.
He's a good MP9 gamer. And I mean, it's far from peachy keen over on the Vendetta side.
That's true.
This is what we call a swing round here, John.
Mm-hmm.
Swingaroo. And Hex, actually, with the FAMAS, can still get quite a bit up. He won't have a kit. He won't have perfect util, but it's pretty dang good. That's resilience. This is what EG had built up in the run of rounds now. This is the round where they have to capitalize. Fast play out from the con. This is madness. They're already past. Vendetta are in towards the site. There's no world where you expect this, but somehow, some way, they still take so much damage back in turn. That was a lightning fast play. These two teams could not be more different in terms of their preferred pacing. And George, he's going to get the critical kill. So now this all falls apart. Consti at least able to dig that one out with just the tech 9. An attack on a junior. But the bomb is down. So even if he manages to escape with this AWP, getting back into the round is going to be a tough ask. Wild the pace they wanted to go with in that round. I mean, they were past the connector swing, John. Past it. That's... Whew. They were going plaid.
Back and forth we go, though.
Back and forth indeed.
Love the pacing here. Consti will be able to save the op, as of course we mentioned it, bit of a swing round, so EG and Vendetta don't want to take any unnecessary risks. That means Walco Jr. and George are just going to hang on to what they've got. They're going to guard the bomb and let the time burn off the clock. So the next buy-up will be interesting here for Vendetta. You have the op. Loss bonus will be okay. Tender and 6, should be able to get maybe Galils or SMGs. Do you opt for the force buy because you realize that, you know, EG's economy is still very light?
Force buy. Oh, could just do the half buy. Seems like they're gonna half it. All right, they're letting EG off the chain here. A little bit. That loss bonus is still built up, right? Vendetta only won one round. So the next, they'll have a pretty good fight. Maybe Consti's limited, but it's still all right. Let's see what they can do with the AWP and the couple armored pistols. With smoke means the Tender's going to have to chill for a little while.
That's a weird one, though. Looks like almost a bug, right? He threw it right at the Molotov.
Fiction
Just
source
bounced
too.
over it. Oh, yeah?
Fiction
Okay.
source too.
We'll see.
Told you about this yesterday, John, that the smokes will actually just get sucked into the flames. It's something about heat and cold and vacuums. I don't quite understand the science behind it, but I do know that's going to happen. It's a physics-based engine, after all.
I don't know about that, but definitely with the volumetric smokes, certainly be a little better in those type of situations.
He hits
Nice
that on
attempt
land.
there from Tender. Maybe.
It's that on land.
Got a beat on him for sure. 1 minute left on the clock. Vendetta have that op. Decided not to force up around it, of course, so it's just going to be the eco for the rest of the squad. But Consti's very solid with this op. He just needs one look, one chance to make his crack on the round.
3 players going to be here. The rotation up is timely for EG. Junior on the angle will face first contact. This is how it's supposed to work, and it's exactly how it does. No damage back the other way. Tender gets one on the other side of the map, but he's not even the same zip code. He's not in the vicinity. I think he's about to get shot in the back.
Yep, he is. Next, gonna drop him. 13-11 in favor of EG. Not phased at all by that attempted hit onto the A site. I mean, Consti never really got visibility, couldn't get activated soon enough. Then once he does, he's trying to peek around from short bathrooms, but the fight is so unfavorable with so many crosshairs looking at him that he gets peppered down to about 20 HP, and then Junior finishes him off through the wall because he couldn't get away. So, buy-up will come through from Vendetta since that was more of an eco, but it's not going to be the best one. You know, you got a good amount of utility. 4 AKs and a Galil, sure. Would be nice to have just a little more in terms of the util. Walco. Waiting patiently in connector here. EG pretty spread out as it stands. And Walco's just going to get eliminated easily by Sixy. 5v4 for the Vendetta squad, and Sixy continues his trek on forward, but the rest of his team decides they're going to double back, at least for the moment. And look at this, Sixy's adjusting himself as well. Looks like they want to try and face off in connector and go for a B hit instead, hoping that they've pulled enough members of EG off of that B hold towards the A site. George was fading off, but he's come back now.
Need Hex. Oh, ahead of the util. Trying to catch the gap in that smoke timing, hoping that no one was watching it, that they'd be holding in towards construction, but now it's pressure onto George. The nade might be very effective, but no, they're actually mostly past it. And his damage is not going to be conclusive. This is going to have to be a save. 2v4, you don't fancy your chances here if you're EG. And so Vendetta cracked through a very important round and keeping 4 alive here. Now we got a game on our hands, folks. These last few rounds are going to get spicy. It's starting to smell like a map that might go the full 30 or even beyond. So Gifted maybe a little bit of an opener into this one, but still Vendetta make good. Catching Hex to get aggressive, punishing that late lurk out, and then seizing the momentum in towards the site.
Neither team can get control of this map as Vendetta, like you mentioned, coming back there, pulling off a 12. Junior and Rush forced into a save. And we head into round number 26. Vendetta, full buy. Evil Geniuses, same thing, except for maybe Hexed. No, he's going to get a drop, so there we go. The only thing missing for them are a couple of pieces of utility. That's it. This one is a critical round for the Evil Geniuses. Maybe not as much for Vendetta because they got the loss bonus of 1900, which will help them out, especially considering that 3 of the 4 or 5 players have saved up 2.4k or more. Junior, oh, he's caught out here. What a flashbang from Silas. Sixy gets the finishing touch, and that's a 5v4 immediately here. Walco looking for the response. He will find it. Falls back into connector. He wants another fight. He needs to be careful here. Molotov thrown, and he diffuses it and goes for the frag. Finds a second and a third.
Walco.
The IGL standing on his head and looking for another one. He eventually goes down, but he's done the damage.
Bailing them out, making up for any errors in the last. Absolutely explosive play from Walco. Wowzers. He's had 2 of these just explosive rounds this half where he takes complete command in a tough situation. Tender may have just been looking for further damage there, but he's not going to get it. Now a choice needs to be made for Vendetta. There are limitations here, but I think this is probably good enough that they chase the buy. The economy's still a little brittle over on the CT side as well, but it's a risky gamble if they go for it, if they go fully in, and so they'll take their first time out here to discuss the finances, to talk about what they've got in front of them and figure out how much they want to put down. But John, if they crack this round, ooh, the prospect is so tantalizing. It's gotta be teasing them. They would have such a good path to actually pulling off the full 15 themselves. They're gonna go for it.
They're gonna go.
I think this is the right
call.
call.
Enough money. I agree.
It's a question of playing to win or playing not to lose, and this is the playing to win move.
But the way things have swung back and forth too, yeah, you got to go for this one. Early nade damage done by EG onto Silas and Sixy. Silas below the half health mark, Sixy not far from it. And now Tender takes some damage from some util as well. He's going for a fight. That actually might have been panel spam. Yeah, panel spam takes Tender down to 88, so he's being very cautious here. Lots of util being expended by EG towards that B site, and they don't have much left. Need to be careful. Walco, a chance to punish again. Maybe another 3k on the horizon. Walco. Ooh, tags Consti down, but can't finish him, so now he has to retreat. He won't get his frags there. At least
it's all about Rush.
Looking for it here, and he gets one on 60.
He's on the angle, so there's the capitalization. Now they need to move on in. Rush under major threat, but the rotations are on. If they can stall Vendetta out, that's a massive victory here. Seems to be what's happening. Just Tender trying to come around. The flashbangs lethal. Rush was blind for so long, but his teammates, no. Their eyes are clear. Kills left, right, and center. Silas still going to keep this one in doubt. The bomb's going to be retrieved. And actually, Walco having backed so very far off, he said there's a chance here. Silas wants to take the initiative. Hex finds the first, but consti there for the trade. Health low. Consti, it's going to have to be headshots or bust. George is coming back in to clear him. Consi is not going to expect another player to come from that angle. He's a dead man. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of the seconds. Map point found for EG. And it's been a little fitful. It's been a little back and forth. But at the end of the day, they're now just one map away from taking us to a third.
One more round needed by the evil geniuses here to send us to, of course, what else but Inferno. Classic map 3 in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Wonder if that trend will continue into CSGO. Time will tell. But Vendetta, who got close up here, no choice. 2 Galils. That's nice. Not too shabby. Good bounty kill as well. Flashbang going to get thrown. Junior completely blinded, so he has to fall off here. Took a shot, hoping that the timing would be on, but it wasn't. Tender maneuvers his way up to sandbags.
Interesting. They're going to get aggressive on
And
it. They're
he's
going to
got
get aggressive
consti.
on it. If
Yeah.
Consti gets a gun out. Oh, on the smoke fade. This is going to be spicy. And George, quickest on the trigger. Closest to the center. He gets vision first. And now they had no idea so many players were here. Tender thought maybe he'd get the space for free with 2 players pushing Monster, but it's anything but. Everybody stacked on here. One after another. That a bit too much of an ask for George. But still a man advantage. 60 walks the smoke. He'll be punished. Hoping that the rotation would have come in towards A. And, well, Vendetta, they have not succeeded in that guess. Silas in a 1v4. What do you got for us? Try and keep your team fighting here on Overpass. Try and keep the dream alive. Well, it's EG's dream that'll survive the contact. They bring us to a third map here. We're going the full distance. We're going to the decider, John. We're getting all the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, look, I mean, EG fought tooth and nail just to try and get control there. It never really felt like they had it right up until the end even, because Vendetta were challenging again.